Okay, here we are. This is lesson 3 of drawing a 1963 Corvette Stingray coupe, and like I said I would, I'm finishing up on the shadow underneath the car. As you'll see, I'm working at a really weird angle here because I wanted to get a good shot of the car, but I'm working like at 90 degrees to the car, so it's kind of interesting trying to draw this. It doesn't really matter because this whole shadow under the car thing is going to be a lot darker when I get done with it, so it doesn't matter that the stippling looks different going this way than it does going the other direction at 90 degrees. So it's coming along okay. What I really wanted to do was just lay this out so that I know where the shadow is and where the car is, where the car body is. So it's not really ultra important how it looks because, as I say, the shadow is going to be much darker than the body will be anyway. I'm just trying to get this all laid out down to the point of being able to start on the body. And the body, after all, is what we're trying to draw here more than anything else. It's going to only be set off by the shadow underneath it, and that's going to help the reader or the viewer take a look at it and see that it is in fact a separate entity, and it'll make it look more dramatic too. The darker this is on the bottom, the better it's going to look. Okay, now I'm going to go back and work on the body for the first time. Okay, and all I'm doing here is just putting the shadow in underneath the crease line at the midpoint of the body. And again, it's just stippling, and it's going to be pretty light too. This is not going to be very dark. Compared to the shadow under the car, this is going to be very, very light. But I just need to do this in order to give me an area to work with and to see what the darkness should be for the final product. Coming along okay so far. This car has got such a wonderful shape to it that when you just see this much of it, if you couldn't see the rest of the car and you only saw this little tiny part of it, you would probably be able to say that it is a Stingray. You might not get the 63 right, but you would be able to tell this is a Stingray if you know much about cars or Corvettes at all, because it is so distinctive, the profile and all on this. Coming along fine so far. And now I'm putting in the vents that are on the side. They're kind of dummies on this car, but it's just a scoop inset and it has an emblem inside of it. And so I'm just putting that on it right now. And then we're going to go all the way back to the back of the car with that same line up on top, because it does continue all the way around the car. It's really well integrated into the design. I really, at the time when it came out, I thought it looked a little gimmicky, but now I take a look at it and it just looks classic to me. That it's, I think it's really an iconic Corvette. This is the one that kind of put them on the map. This is also when they first started racing Corvettes too, with any degree of success, because they had a decent motor in them, and when they put the independent rear suspension in it, it really changed the handling of the car quite a bit. It was still too heavy at the time, but it at least had a chance. You could modify the car and you could race it and have a good shot of doing something worthwhile with it, unless you happen to be racing against the Mustang, or one of the Shelby's Mustangs, or a Cobra. Heaven help you, because the Cobra, being a lot lighter with probably a little less horsepower to start with, just handled so much better than this car did. But it was a real beginning, and Chevrolet stuck with it, and Harley Earl and Zora Arkus Duntov really championed this car and kept it alive. I think it was, I've read that 3 separate times Chevrolet wanted to cancel the car, and thank heavens they didn't, because now they make for the dollar value, they make one of the greatest sports cars in the world, dollar for dollar. And we'll be doing more work in this tomorrow. I hope to see you back then, and we'll continue the work in this. I think you're going to like it. Thank you. Bye.